From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Cascade Paint Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Well, it feels like the weekend is pretty much here, right? It's Friday evening. We're getting ready for a weekend, and let's get you for Kruger's Quickcast, or take a look at Kruger's Quickcast, that is, for your Friday night, November 8th. It's going to be a chilly start to your day tomorrow. In fact, of course, tonight. Now, these temperatures in the valley will depend on what the winds are doing. Just a slight breeze can keep those temperatures up a little bit higher, but basically upper 30s, low 40s in the valley. 20s, 30s to the north and east. We're talking Trinity County, mid to upper 30s, and I am expecting those temperatures somewhere in the mid to even upper 40s along the coast. All right, get me out the door tomorrow morning. And if you're heading out to the city of Shasta Lake, be prepared for some cool temperatures this morning, about 44 degrees at 8 a.m. Temperatures 30s for most of the higher elevations. And for the north coast, looking at those temperatures along the coast, that is, at least in the upper 40s. All right, heading out to the Veterans Day Parade in the city of Shasta Lake out at Shasta Dam Boulevard. Well, the parade starts at 10 o'clock in the morning. But if you're heading out there early in the morning, maybe even before 8 a.m., it'll be in the upper 30s to low 40s by 7 o'clock in the morning. Now, temperatures will climb, though, as the sun comes up. By 9 a.m., 51. By the time the parade starts, 56 degrees. So not too terribly chilly, but definitely if you're heading out there before the parade, make sure you got something to keep you warm. Temperatures low 60s, though, by the end of the morning and into the early afternoon hours. So it looks like we do expect to see some improving conditions here, getting warmer by the second half of the day. All right, here's Futurecast. We've got some clouds coming in tomorrow morning, but the rain, as you can see, is off to our north and west. What's going to happen is we go into about the noon hour, we may see a few sprinkles, light showers developing for some of us along the coast and even into western Siskiyou County. Is this enough to cancel any outdoor plans? Not even close, because it's going to be so insignificant. It does gain a little bit of strength as we go through the afternoon. You can see some of the darker shades of green, even a little bit of a yellow popping up there. But once again, not an event killer. Right? So if you're going to be outside in Siskiyou County during the afternoon, especially central and western Siskiyou County or northern Trinity County or even Del Norte Humboldt County through the afternoon on Saturday, don't be surprised if you see a stray sprinkle, maybe even a brief light shower. Because by the time we go into Saturday evening and Saturday night, that's all pretty much done with. All right, so here's your forecast for your Saturday. Mid-60s for the valley. Temperatures mainly in the 50s for the higher elevations, although in Trinity County and even inland areas, mid to upper 60s, even some low 70s. And for the coast, you're looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. So looking at your 7-day outlook, we're going to talk about this in a lot more detail as we go into early next week, and even this weekend we'll talk a little bit more detail about that chance. But looking at the 7-day outlook, it looks pretty ominous here. You're seeing showers, a chance of showers. It's not going to be a lot of rainfall going through next week, especially as you head off into the mountains and the valley in particular here. All right, so that's a quick look at your Quickcast, or at least as quick as I could get it. Now let's go and do a deeper dive and go to the extended through next week. Cooler and mainly dry this weekend. And again, you saw that on Futurecast, what it looks like. We'll take another look at that here in a second. Chance for weekend, light showers for the coast, cooler and unsettled for all next week. But bottom line, I don't see any major storms heading our way, including Monday's storm system, which looks to bring us the most amount of rainfall. Now the winds for Saturday, not that bad, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Let's take a look at your winds for your Sunday. Maybe just a little bit stronger, maybe 10 to 15 miles per hour, maybe a little breezy, but nothing to be concerned about. All right, let's take another look at Futurecast here for your Saturday. 8 a.m., we're seeing the clouds on the increase, especially those high and mid-level clouds. Mainly sunny, though, as you can see out towards Lassen County. Let's take you through the morning hours, 11 a.m. Again, maybe a brief sprinkle or light shower. But for the parade out of the city of Shasta Lake, you see just some clouds. No rain is in the forecast. Let's take you into Saturday, 3 p.m. You see how, again, I mentioned this earlier, it's getting just a tad stronger, darker shades of green. So if you're in Del Norte, Humboldt, even northern Trinity and western Siskiyou County, 3 p.m. Saturday, you may see a brief brief light showers. You can clearly see that boundary breaking apart as it moves over the mountains. Now, if there is a chance for any drops of rain for the valley, it will be tomorrow evening, maybe for that evening walk. You might feel a drop or two in your hand or the top of your head, especially if you have a bald head, right? And that's about it. And central Siskiyou County, again, maybe a brief light shower, but then it's gone after that. And then really all of Sunday is looking pretty dry. I don't want to rule out maybe some drizzle or some sprinkles through the afternoon on Sunday for the coast, but otherwise I think the rest of us will be dry on Sunday. All right, so we got through the weekend. Let's take a look at next week. So this is the storm system I've got my eyes on. The forecast models over the last few days have really been backing down on the intensity of the storm system on Monday. So let's take you into Monday. You see how it pushes through. Now, once it pushes through, the heaviest rainfall will be on the coast, and then it will break apart as it moves through Northern California. So less rainfall for the valley and the eastern mountains. But I think everyone is going to get wet in some shape or form on Monday. And this is the start of the cool and unsettled weather pattern that we do have through next week. Excuse me. So again, you see some of that cooler air moving in, and really the storm door is open at this point. So essentially the storm systems are at least welcome to move in, but a lot of these storms look to mainly push. You see the main area of low pressure, they push through the Pacific Northwest and into Canada. What typically happens? Well, we get the tail end of that front, it moves through. So maybe some more showers coming in Wednesday, maybe a few more showers on Thursday of next week, and that could continue into Friday as well. But bottom line, what you're seeing there and what you just saw there, that is going to change. When Brian shows you, when Chase shows you over the weekend, what he'll be showing you is probably something a little different than what I just showed you, because the forecast models, these unsettled weather patterns, they change frequently from one forecast model run to the next. But the Climate Prediction Center is putting us in that wetter than normal category. Now, to kind of give you an idea how tricky it is to forecast during these unsettled weather patterns, here's one particular forecast model. Today through Thursday, just to give you an example, you're looking at 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Of course, that's kind of right here, right? Heaviest rainfall to the north and west, less heading to the east. All right, so that footprint, that's going to be pretty much any forecast model you look at. But the overall amount of rain, it depends on which model you look at. Again, remember, 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Now let's take a look at the American forecast model run. We're going to put this into motion for you. Watch what happens. All right, so look at the overall footprint. Where's most of the rain? Here. All right, that's going to be standard. Less rainfall heading to the east. Once again, standard. But look at the amount of rainfall. Willows, it's showing nothing, maybe 1/4 of an inch out towards Redding. So we're talking about a discrepancy of 1/2 of an inch for Redding based on those two forecast models we looked at. So what would we kind of look at this and go, all right, I'm pretty happy with these numbers. I think off to the north and west, we could see 2 to maybe even a little over 3 inches of rain out towards northern Humboldt, western Siskiyou, and into Del Norte County. I think for the valley, Redding, if you see upwards of 1/2 an inch, once all is said and done, through next Friday, I think that that's pretty much a number you can go with. About 1/2 of an inch, maybe about 1/4 of an inch or less as you start heading to the south. This may be underdoing it as well, maybe upwards of 1/4 of an inch of rainfall there as well. But bottom line, minus the north and west, we're not expecting next week's unsettled pattern to really bring us a lot of rainfall. I'm not seeing any major storms heading our way. So the cooler than normal conditions, well, of course, that goes without saying, because I mean, take a look at our trend here. As we go into the weekend, mid to upper 60s, and then just levels out around 60 degrees through all of next week, into that next weekend, even into that next week. This cooler air, it's holding on. But even with that cooler air, we're still also looking at the potential for off and on showers, most likely even into that next weekend. Your wave heights may increase a bit here for your Saturday. Sunday, they back off a little bit. All right, so let's take a look at your marine forecast for your Saturday. South winds at 5 to 10 knots, waves from the west at 8 feet at about 14 seconds. There may be a few isolated showers here off the coast, and of course on the coast as well. Okay, so here's what it looks like again tonight. Cold, temperatures upper 30s, low 40s in the valley. And for the mountains, 20s and 30s to the north and east. And of course, a little bit warmer than that off towards Trinity County, westward into the north coast. All right, so looking at your forecast, and we're going to start off with Trinity County. And we're going to be looking at temperatures dropping a little bit. We're talking low to mid 60s, 64 degrees for Weaverville, 62 degrees for Lewiston. Now, again, we talked about the timing of the rain, especially as we go into early next week. This looks pretty ominous, but it's just going to be off and on chances is essentially what we're looking at. Quite honestly, what we should just have in here is just unsettled, the word unsettled, and that's essentially what we're looking at here. All right, so let's take a look at the North Coast neighborhood forecast, basically central to the south, maybe an isolated shower. Now, for the coast, right, for the immediate coast, that's where you have the best chances both tomorrow and maybe even Sunday. And Sunday will be even slimmer chance, by the way. 68 degrees for Orleans, 68 degrees for a high Saturday in Hoopa, and 71 degrees in Willow Creek. If you see a stray sprinkle or light shower tomorrow afternoon, don't be surprised. Sunday, most likely dry. All right, Siskiyou County, you could see a stray sprinkle, maybe a brief shower in the afternoon. Otherwise, dry through the weekend. Better chances for rain coming in on Monday. Modoc County, I've got you dry all weekend long. I don't anticipate even a drop of rain for Saturday or Sunday. But by the time we get to Monday, yes, we've got that rain moving in. Snow levels, by the way, around 4,500 feet, give or take. The Eastern Mountains, I think you'll be dry all weekend long. Not a drop of rain. If we see anything, maybe out to the north and west here, Bernie, Shingletown, Viola, Fall River Mills, but that's pushing it. Again, mainly dry for the weekend, better chances of that rain and high elevation snow on Monday. Here's your Valley Neighborhood Forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. For your Saturday, temperatures in the mid-60s. So again, a little bit cooler than it was today. If we see any drops of rain, we're talking a sprinkle or two, you'll feel just a drop in your hand or whatever, right? That would be tomorrow evening. Otherwise dry with partly cloudy skies, partly to mostly cloudy skies. And then, of course, a better chance for those showers coming in on Monday. All right, so looking at your 7-day outlook for Redding, mainly dry for the weekend, mid to upper 60s, much cooler. Look at that. We're seeing close to a 10-degree drop as we go from Sunday to Monday, upper 50s. A chance for showers for your Veterans Day, and it looks like off and on chances for rain, pretty much showers, really, for Tuesday through Friday of next week with highs kind of averaging out around 60 degrees. Well, that's your evening update. I'll, of course, be back on Monday. Be sure to check in with Chase Wilson throughout the weekend for your updates. He updates them at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Have a great weekend.